We came so far from dreams. The path was hard for me. They thought we fall, you see. Well, look at us now, look at us now. We make it hot when we on the scene, yeah, that's 1,000 degrees. I got a grind for me and my team, yeah, you know we gon' eat. You see the crowds when we come around, you know that I roll with some kings. We sit it down, I don't hear a sound, but I ask you who better than we. Tell me who better than we. We soaring to places you never could reach. When we walk in that spot, don't hear none of you speak. Shh, do you want peace or the peace? A king about to put you to sleep. Listen, my team is elite. You not even qualified to compete. He starving, he barely can eat. I guess that's why he always itching for beef. So I put him on ice and I told him to chill. Close your mouth if you can't pay for the meal. Making statements that you know you don't mean. Nice guy trying to act like he mean. Keep it a buck, keep it a bean. Attitudes will put you dudes in the beam. Isekai, he don't live in reality. Shake back, all become a fatality. Yeah, how you gon' hate when you mirror us? He think he a star, he ain't serious. X him out, we not on the same frequency. If you broke, you ain't hearing us. Work the screw, anime, that's how I feel, period. We winning, that's making them furious. We make it high when we on the scene, yeah, that's 1,000 degrees. I got a grind for me and my team, yeah, you know we gon' eat. You see the crowds when we come around, you know that I roll with some kings. We sit it down, I don't hear a sound, but I ask you who better than we.
Yo, what do you do, guys? It is your boy, Leon Mookie here, and I'm back with you with another new part of What If Izuku Was Mega Man Star Force. This is part 10, and in the last part, I went over on that of everybody ideas and also their opinions on Izuku as Mega Man, with Bakugo not really caring but also annoyed at, well, the idea of Mega Man, Momo actually being a super fan of Mega Man, and Monami, aka La Brava, now becoming La Brava alongside Gentle Criminal, but instead of being villains, they may be vigilantes in this timeline. Not only that, Izuku gets closer with that of Ochako and Ida, just like in canon. However, instead of being called Deku by Ochako, instead she calls him Izu. Not only that, it seems that Omega's old comrades are still trying to find their perfect vessels, with Tauros explaining that about quirks and how much it can help them improve in battle against Omega's and Izuku in the future. And then there's Lyra, who found that of a host, or rather, a future partner, that being Izuku's classmate, Kyoka Jiro. So, with all that said, let's get into this, shall we, guys? The next day, back at UA, everything basically goes a little bit differently as it was their first day, as some of them were basically worried if they're going to go through the same exact crap as they did before. To their surprise and to their relief, they wouldn't have to. They just had normal classes as they would any other high school, ranging from math classes to being that of algebra and that of trigonometry, to that of Japanese literature, to English, history, and even that of other courses such as arts and humanity classes. However, what really stands out about these classes, though, even though they're basically normal, is that all of these classes are taught by pro heroes. And of course, Izuku wants to fanboy over them, but even so, now's not the time for that. As classes continue going on strong, there's only one class left for Class 1A, that being the class that revolves around their entire class as a whole, that being their heroics class. As currently Class 1A is waiting on their teacher on who's going to be their hero teacher, with many wondering on who's going to be their teacher, with then soon Bakugo getting annoyed saying, "Where the hell are they? Seriously, they've been keeping us waiting for literally over an hour." With then soon Izuku couldn't help but sigh, but can't help but also agree with Bakugo that their teacher is taking quite a bit of their time. With then Tsuyu speaking up saying, most likely they're taking their time. After all, just remember what Mr. Aizawa said, UA teachers can basically do whatever they see fit here in the school. With then hearing that, Sato can help but say, it's kind of scary I mean, it's a good thing that Mr. Aizawa was lying about expelling us, but even so, knowing that the fact that that teachers can expel us even if they want to, with then Tokoyami also couldn't help but nod, saying, agreed. Such threats linger over us like that of a guillotine waiting to strike us down once and for all. As Toru speaks up as well, saying, man, it's just so nerve-wracking. With then, as everybody continues basically giving out their own opinions, within soon the door slides open. Entering inside the class, being that of a tall, lanky man wearing that of a gray business suit, with that of a red tie, and also combed over hair, his green hair, wearing that of glasses. As Izuku couldn't help but be utterly shocked and surprised, as he knows this person all too well. Within, the man going to the podium saying, apologies for keeping you all waiting, students. In case you are wondering, yes, I am your Hero Fundamentals teacher. I'll be in charge of your classes. Well, most of the time. Your homeroom teacher will also be taking my spot from time to time as well, since I am a busy person. But even so, I will do the best I can, as he soon adjusts his glasses as they begin to gleam and shine, with many of the students kind of confused, with then soon Izuku saying, Sir Nighteye! With then everybody also began to confuse before the gears and many other students' heads begin to turn. This, as the next person that realized this, being Momo, is saying, "Wait, Sir Nighteye, as in the same Sir Nighteye that's All Might's sidekick or former sidekick?" With then, soon hearing that, everybody begins to realize the same thing as well. With Ida saying, All Might's second sidekick is our hero teacher? This is truly an honor. With then, everybody in the room begins to get somewhat excited and hyped that they get to have that of a somewhat legend as their teacher. As Sir Nighteye may not be in that of the top 10 pros of all of Japan, but being the sidekick to that of the number one hero says it all. As then, Sir Nighteye saying, yes, I understand. You're all excited because I am All Might's former sidekick. But I'll let you all know this. Just because I am All Might's former sidekick, that doesn't mean anything to me. That was just a title that I once held. It means nothing now. As now a pro hero of my own and have my own agency, my decisions are my own and my own alone, and are not influenced by that of what All Might has taught me as his former sidekick, and that is the truth. I hope that you all understand that even though All Might may be our symbol of peace, our pillar for society, with an indomitable smile, it's up to the next generation to live up to that expectation as well. I expect all of you can do the same if you're all training to be heroes. With then, feeling the intense aura coming off of the, lanky man, even Bakugo couldn't help but feel somewhat intimidated, as even though he thinks he can handle him personally, but feeling this pressure alone, he realized that maybe that probably not. Especially given that he was All Might's former sidekick of all things. With then soon, the pressure lightens up. Within, Omegasis couldn't help but comment as he was even able to feel the pressure, as it seems like the pressure alone was even able to affect EM waves. As he couldn't help but think, this man is no ordinary human, even with a quirk. That pressure, I could even feel that pressure through that of Izuku's phone. The EM waves were affected by him. I'm not sure if this man is aware that he can affect EM waves. Better give Izuku that of a heads up sooner or later. This man could be dangerous in the future. As Omegasis comes to this conclusion, within Sir Nighteye speaking once again, saying, now, with that out of the way, we'll be doing this. Since this is Hero Fundamentals, I'll be basically testing you in all your abilities as heroes. This class will mainly be focusing on that of combat training, rescue training, and even that of many aspects of being a pro. I'll let you know this now. Being a pro is more than just facing against villains. It's also protecting civilians as well and keeping them safe. If many of you are only here to prove yourself that you're able to take down as many villains as you want, then then that makes you similar to that of Endeavor, who has the most arrests and in most cases solve, which is nothing wrong with that. But if you really believe that taking down villains alone is what makes you lead to you to become the number one hero, then you are sorely mistaken. It takes more, as somebody who worked with the number one pro, it's more than just facing against villains alone is what makes a pro. But then, hearing those words, it almost felt like Bakugo was basically being attacked himself, with his ideals basically being challenged by his teacher, as he couldn't help but basically clench his fist even more, as he's been doing that a lot lately. A hero must be prepared to take up any form of action, any form of aspect as a pro, to fighting against off villains, protecting civilians, saving civilians from that of disasters, and ruined locations. There are many facets and aspects of being a pro. If you only focus on one form of being a pro, then you're basically limiting yourself from your potential. And I refuse to see those with that of good potential wasted on that of only one aspect of being a pro hero. And that's what this test, and that's what our first exam, our first task will be as for your training. With then soon pulling that of a remote out of his pocket, with then pressing a button, and several suitcases behind that of the classroom began to shoot open, saying, each of those suitcases are numbered by your seating order here in this class. Make sure you get the proper one. Go to the changing room, change into your hero costumes, and meet me at Training Field Gamma. Please be punctual. I would hate to start the lesson in one of you unaware of the situation that we'll be doing. As soon checking out his watch, as then grabbing that of a suitcase that he did brought in with him out of the room as well. You have 30 minutes to arrive. I best that you go to the changing rooms now. After saying that, he slides the door closed. As then, everybody in the room couldn't help but feel somewhat intimidated. As Sir Nighteye feels even more intimidating than that of their homeroom teacher. With then soon, Kirishima couldn't help but feel like he had to take that of a huge breath, saying, that is the sidekick of our symbol of peace? Damn. And I would thought that he would have a lot more of a smiling face. With then Ojiro speaking, saying, yeah, no kidding. The guy felt really intense. And he's our combat teacher. With then soon Jiro saying, seriously, first Aizawa, now this guy? It's almost like we had to deal with crazy crockpot teachers that are strict as hell. After saying her piece, what then soon a familiar, high-pitched feminine voice saying, ain't that the truth, girlfriend? But then soon Kyoka actually blushing before then basically making sure that her phone isn't speaking at all. As then everybody wondering, wait, where did that voice come from? With then soon Kaminari actually heard that saying, Jiro, was that your phone? With then saying, yeah, just stupid text message, probably from my dad. I gotta make sure to put it on silent. As then soon getting embarrassed, given that Lyra's actually inside of her phone now. With then Izuku couldn't help but feel somewhat, wait, was she? But then soon Omega saying, that voice, it can't be, could it? With then shaking it off for a bit. as wanting to confirm it with Izuku at least later on, but not right now, given that there are way too many people here at this point. A couple minutes later, at least around that, to 20 to 25 minutes, Sir Nighteye is waiting at that of Training Field Gamma, with then soon looking at his watch before then hearing that of footsteps saying, looks like you all arrived, with then each and every one of them showing up in their hero costumes as he adjusts his glasses, then saying, many of you seem like you were prepared for this and made costumes tailor-made to your skin, to that of your attributes. I must say, I'm impressed. However, it seems like some of you may have created costumes just so you could look cool. What a shame. But, needless to say, if it helps you in combat, and as your duties as a pro, please don't let it get in the way. What then, soon, still feeling that of the, intimidating aura, even though both Sir Nighteye was complimenting and insulting half of the class. With then, soon, Sir Nighteye internally thinking, can't believe I'm still doing this as a favor to you, Toshinori. As he's remembering the day that All Might basically asked him for a favor at his agency, with then soon currently at Sir Nightaye's agency in his office, with then saying, you want me to what? Saying, I want you to be a teacher for the hero course, for that of the first year hero course. With then saying, you can't be serious. But then soon, All Might couldn't help but bow his head saying, I am, Mirai, please. I know that we haven't spoken on that of good terms. Even though you're helping Melissa with that of One for All, even though part of you was against it, you weren't entirely against it due to who her father was. With then, Nighteye saying, I told you I was against her having the quirk because she was quirkless, and she's never ever used it at all. But given that she is the daughter of your first sidekick, my predecessor, I thought I could at least give her the benefit of the doubt. And I must say, given that she has worked hard as that of a support inventor, she is somewhat pretty well in shape. Not only that, she's taking well to that of One for All. Still can't use that of the same percentage that you could back in the day, though. But even so, she's improved quite a bit. All the more reason that when I know that Melissa takes part in that of the third year sports festival, I know she's going to do great, and she'll possibly be sent to that of the third year's hero course. I'm not sure which class, so I've decided to take on both classes as the hero instructor for both of them whenever I can. With then hearing that, Mirai saying, you're doing this again, Toshi, feeling annoyed at his former mentor / friend. With then soon, Toshi saying, I know, but I believe in Melissa. I believe she is my proper successor. Not only I think she'll be a great support inventor as well, but she'll be a great hero, just like she always wanted to be. That girl has her father's talent and the true heart and soul of a hero. Unfortunately, they also need teachers for that of the first years, though. Vlad King said that he's willing to be the combat teacher, the hero course teacher for Class 1B, since he is their homeroom teacher, of course. Aizawa, on the other hand, he said that he's willing, but you've seen the kind of guy he is. He's a great teacher, but he half-asses quite a bit of things, especially with his insomnia. I say it's quite the downside of being that of an underground pro when your main work takes place during the night. If I had more time with the man, I've told the man multiple times, even during his prevalent times as that of a full-on underground pro, that he needs to find a balance between working both in the day and night. being a teacher while also still having sleeping problems is basically asking for trouble. But if he wasn't good at his job, I guess he wouldn't be a teacher this long. After both disrespecting and respecting Aizawa, with All Might couldn't help but basically laugh and mentally to himself, with then saying, So you basically want me to take up the position of the first year of Class 1A's, well, combat teacher, hero course teacher. Then saying, if it's not too much to ask, you do know that I am in charge of my own agency. I can trust Bubble Girl alongside that of Centipeter to look after the agency, even without me, but I still need to be here to be in charge of it as well. So, I'll talk to Nezu and I'll speak to him about my behalf of being the teacher here. During this time, I want Aizawa to make sure to do his job as that of a hero teacher as well, and to get at least some of his sleep schedule in check. After saying that, Toshinori couldn't help but smile, saying, You really mean it? Saying, this is a favor you're asking of me, Toshi. I'll accept it, but I won't but this is more of a way to tell you, but I'm also going to want you to listen to my opinions as well, besides Aizawa. Within hearing that, he can't help but say, Is this about, you know exactly what this is about, Toshi. Within soon saying, Listen, Mirai, I understand that you're worried about me. I understand completely, but I can't retire. Not just yet. Not until I see Melissa become the pro I know she's capable of becoming. It's going to be hard for her to reach that of the number one spot, given that she's already a third year. But until I can see her become the pro that I know she can be, All Might still needs to continue on, even now. Until Melissa graduates from UA, I won't be retiring as All Might anytime soon. You have to understand this. The world still needs the symbol of peace. With then soon hearing this, he couldn't help but clench his hands, before then taking a deep sigh, saying, And you're always still this stubborn. Fine. I'll still take the teaching position, but as mainly that of a part-time teaching position. And I'll only be working with that of Class 1A. No other class, only them. You forget that my agency mainly works with that of solving certain cases that the police have been having trouble with, after all. And I don't like to keep those cases on hold. Within, after saying that, soon taking that of a sigh before giving that of a somewhat, relieved smile, saying, Thank you again, Mirai. I'll do what I can to help you in this situation. But then saying, the best thing you can do for me is just stop trying to push yourself and start relying on those around you. With that, soon the flashback ends with then soon noticing all the students have fully arrived. Within saying, Now, as you can see, this training zone is the same area that I know that many of you have taken during the practical exam, but for those who did that of the recommendation exam, this is new to you. And if any of you have questions, wait until I'm finished. Then I'll answer your questions. Until then, please hold your peace and continue to listen. Do I make myself clear? As everybody basically stays quiet, then saying, Good. Now then, when it comes to hero course training, many of you must take it slow, take it rationally and understandingly to what you need to do. For example, you'll be focused to have a better understanding of your quirks and abilities. Just like you did in the entrance exam, you'll be facing against that of multiple robots. However, all of you will not be trying to take out all these robots all by yourself. You'll be paired up in teams of 2, working together to take down these robots. However, you'll also be working in another aspect of this training exercise. With then soon bringing up that of his suitcase as soon he pulls out that of a tablet, with then tapping on it. Before then, a monitor soon appears right behind them. A screen soon appears, with then showing that of a diagram and that of certain rules. Within Nighteye begins layering down. This training exercise, you'll be taking down that of 20 robots. You'll be taking on 20 robots, a mob of enemies. These robots mainly range from that of 1-pointers and 2-pointers. 3-pointers are out of the way, and I'm aware of that of the famous 0-point robots as well. Those things are too dangerous and not worth your time. 1-pointers and 2-pointers are basically what you'll be facing against. Your job, alongside your partner, is to mow down as many of these enemies as possible. However, there are basically rules will be put in place. You'll be penalized if you disobey each and any one of these rules, and it'll cost you your score and grade for this task. For example, rule number 1: keep collateral damage to a minimum. If you start fighting while taking out these robots, see them as any other villain, or see this as any other position as that of a pro hero. Pro heroes are not just to fight against villains, they're also made sure to keep collateral damage to a minimum, not to cause any more destruction while taking down just a small group of villains. The more collateral damage you do, the more I take off of your score in this exam. Rule number 2: no attacking your allies. If you feel frustrated with your partner to the point that you actually want to attack them or hit them in any other way with your quirk or physically, your points will be deducted even further. Teamwork and coexistence with one another is basically key when it comes to working as a pro. If you try doing everything by yourself, then you're basically a loose cannon that can't be trusted. And nobody likes a pro hero that believes that they are above others without even realizing the situation. And for those who plan on attacking their allies just to gain more points, then you're going to be wishing that you failed from the very beginning, then have to deal with me. As then his glasses begin to gleam with that of a pressure, hitting them once again. As then the pressure disappears, as he continues saying, and the last rule, this one is the most important, as everybody's on the edge of their seat, on the edge of every word that Sir Nighteye says, within saying, just have some fun. No need to take everything too seriously. This is your first training exercise in this class, so nothing too serious to be going, so you don't have to take everything too seriously. But the first 2 rules still apply, though. Just don't be too stressed out if you don't feel like you did well. Within, after saying that, many of them feel like the man just contradicts himself with all of the seriousness, intensity that he did, and now just telling them just to have a little bit of fun. However, Izuku, on the other hand, the kid couldn't help but smile, realizing that this man is still All Might's former sidekick, possibly still admires the very ideas that All Might stand for as well, wanting to save and protect people with a smile on his face. Even though Izuku may not be the All Might superfan he used to be, given his interactions with All Might after the whole, slime villain debacle all the way back last year during the time when he met Omegasis. He still can't help but still admire All Might's ideas on what it means to be a hero, to always protect the innocent and reassure them that everything will be okay, no matter what. However, unlike All Might, who basically smiles to hide the fear, instead, Izuku will smile to reassure those in need that he'll always smile to make sure that he'll protect the innocent no matter what. With then soon saying, all right then, I'll make sure to pair yourself. As for your teams, you'll be paired up randomly. Each and every one. Coming up here, you'll be grabbing that of a ball. The ball will have that of a letter. With that letter, you'll be seeing on who you'll be partnered with. And in case that you hate being the person that you are partnered with, no, there are no exchanges at all. You can't make any trades whatsoever either. When you're on the field, you may be partnered with that of pros that you can't stand. You must put aside your differences and your grudges for the greater good. So no pettiness. Do I make myself clear? Within, after saying that, he still unleashes a bit of that intimidating aura, which makes everybody basically say, "Yes, sir," within, saying, "Good." Now then, all your questions within, just like before, everybody begins to have that of certain questions. However, the most prevalent ones mainly being that of Ida, alongside that of Ochako, and also that of Aoyama, with Ida asking on how much points will they get during this exam if they properly follow each and every one of the orders. Within, Ochako asking, will they be expelled if they don't meet the expectations of Sir Nighteye, like the threats from that of Aizawa. And the last one not least, being that of Aoyama, asking about if his cape basically makes him look nice. Within, soon, adjusting his glasses, saying, "Ida, as for this exam, just like any other exam, your perfect score is that of 100 points. You'll also be on that of a timer as well. If the timer runs out, you'll lose that of 5 points. If you cause collateral damage, is basically 1 point. But as collateral damage racks up, you'll lose points rapidly through that 1 point alone. Attacking/harming your allies is basically 10 points removed, letting you know falling behind that of not having the proper grade will not happen unless you are trying to basically piss me off." As after saying that, he soon looks at Bakugo, with then Bakugo noticing the look from that of the tinted glasses, within basically scoffing, as he looks like Sir Nighteye is also aware of Bakugo's little, stipulations at being at UA. Within, answering Ochako's question about the expulsion, within soon saying, "As for the expulsion, no, I will not expel you, unless it is well deserved. Just like Aizawa, every other teacher has the right to expel that of the students, even if it isn't from your homeroom teacher." Within, hearing that, they couldn't help but worried. Within, soon, Cyril saying, "Well, it's a good thing Mr. Aizawa was lying about him expelling any of us," with few of them couldn't help but agree. As then, Nighteye couldn't help but raise an eyebrow, realizing, so he didn't expel anybody from this class this year. I'm guessing that they have that of good potential then. Within, hearing that, Jiro couldn't help but be completely and utterly shocked and surprised, knowing the fact that they actually could have been expelled, as deciding to keep this to herself, not wanting to cause any panic among that of her fellow classmates. With then soon him as then looking at Aoyama before saying, "Your cape does not matter, it's your results that matter. If it gets in the way of your duty as a pro, then it's meaningless." Within, after saying that, Aoyama still having the same smile, but him now basically shaking in that of fear from the words of Sir Nighteye. Within, saying, "Now then, just as I said before, come up here, grab a letter, and see on who you'll be partnered with." Within, just like before, just like in canon, everybody has the same partner as they would before. Izuku with that of Ochako, Shoto with that of Shoji, Kirishima with Sato, Bakugo with Ida, Toru with Ojiro, Mina with Aoyama, Suyu with Tokoyami, Sero with Koda, and Momo with, well, with Mineta. So yeah, that's still, everything is still the same as before. With then soon, adjusting his glasses again, saying, "Good, Team A, you'll be starting up first." With that, Izuku and Ochako begin to get ready. As he continues, saying, "You'll have that of 5 minutes to prepare for a plan before the robots begin to show up. I expect you to be ready. Not only that, robots will basically be showing up all over the place or be hiding around. If you don't take out all of the robots before time runs out, well then, you'll lose that of 5 points. I hope that you're all prepared." Within soon, Izuku and Ochako saying, "Yes, sir." However, now that we get a good look at Izuku, his hero costume is completely different than it would have been in canon. Since Inko didn't find that of Izuku's notebook about his hero costumes, as he basically just, not even bothered with them. Basically threw away all of his hero notes about his costumes, but not about the hero notes on that of pros and his classmates, of course. This time, he basically decided to make his own costume, and he didn't, become too late on filling in that of the form that he did have, like he would have in canon. As currently, his costume is similar to that of Geo Stella, from that of the main protagonist from the Star Force MegaMan games, after all. As he has that of a red long sleeve jacket, with that of white stripes for the zippers and through that of the sleeves, with that of a bracelet for that of his smartphone, of course, allowing him to talk to Omega Sis and also connect and also use to EM wave change a lot more easier instead of having his phone always in his hands. He's also wearing that of black pants, with that of also having that of his same old red sneaker boots, of course. Can't really get rid of those. Those basically are his trademark, to be honest. But on his head, having that of his dad's visualizer, as it's basically an integral part of not just his everyday wear, but also his hero costume. As once he becomes a pro, he wants to be one of the few pros that are also involved with that of EM wave cyber attacks, after all. Given his time as MegaMan, he shows that there's not really a lot of pros that basically deal with that, besides that of the cyber defense force of the police force, after all. He also has that of a back pouch that holds all of his battle cards. Also, during this time, he made sure to get that of some new battle cards as well, so to switch up his arsenal and to not to be too predictable, after all. With now his costume base now explained, with both Izuku and Ochako now going to the area while also creating a plan. However, besides just talking, they also began to talk about their costumes, since they didn't really get the chance to when arriving. With then Ochako saying, "I really like your costume, Izu. It's so casual." With then saying, "Well, you know my quirk. No point of basically adding extra layer of defense or armor when I can just transform and basically turn my body into EM waves, after all." With then hearing that, Ochako saying, "I guess that makes sense, somewhat. As for me, I should have basically been more specific around my costume. I asked for a space theme and they gave me this, bodysuit. And I won't lie, it's pretty tight, to be honest." Within, Izuku basically blushing before turning away, saying, "Yeah, guess so." With then soon, Omegas is basically rolling his eyes at Izuku's, timid and nervousness, even though he literally has an older woman basically binding for him. Quickly getting out of his blush before getting serious, saying, "So, about our plan." Within, Ochako saying, "I'm not really sure about it. To be honest, when we first fight against those robots during the entrance exam, I was a little bit worried, to be honest. when I was just floating them and basically slamming them down on the ground, I felt like I had nothing else better to do. But now that we're facing, not only that, I always felt like I could rely on everybody else around me to help me out in case there were some that I couldn't, take care of myself. With then Izuku saying, "That's pretty optimistic of you, Uraka. Nothing wrong with that. But, you won't be doing this alone. I'll have your back. As for our plan, those that show up in the opening will take care of them as soon as possible and as quickly and efficiently without making sure that collateral damage stays to a minimum as well." However, he did bring up the fact that there will be some that we won't be possibly able to take out all of the robots, which means some robots will basically be hiding, possibly some with that of long-range capabilities that we need to watch out for. As then he begins to go into that of a muttery spree, basically thinking of countermeasures behind that, as Ochako begins to deadpan and also begins to get a little bit creeped out by that of his mutter storm. Within, she's saying, "Hey, Izu, you're..." Within, soon, hearing this nickname before, blushing, saying, "Oh, right, sorry, I guess I began muttering, didn't I?" With Van saying, "Yeah, but I think I was able to get at least so much you said. So how about this? I'll take care of the ones in that of the open while you find those that are basically, in hiding. I mean, during the quirk apprehension test, shows that you're pretty quick on your feet after all." With then he's saying, "Well, I wouldn't say that, but thanks for the compliment. And if you think I can handle it, then I'll do my best. But also, like I said, collateral damage has to keep to a minimum. So that means you can't always rely on your quirk to basically just tap on them and basically make them float. Possibly even destroying that of the roads also counts as collateral damage." Within hearing that, Ochako saying, "I didn't think about that. Wow, you thought about this a lot more better than I could, Izu. I'm actually impressed." Within, Izuku saying, "Oh, thanks. I just thought of every single form of aspect, as this is basically the knowledge of being a vigilante basically kicking in, as he remembers all of the criticism that he was basically told when he was MegaMan, that he needs to make sure to keep collateral damage to a minimum after all, besides just trying to just save people. However, he realized that not all collateral damage can be stopped, and prioritizing a person's life over that of the stabilization of a building is more important, as he's learned. With then soon over that of a loud PA system in that of the city, being that of Sir Nighteye, as he's speaking from that of a mic in that of the monitoring room, saying, You have that of 2 more minutes before everything begins. You best be ready, Midoriya." Uraraka, within hearing the words from her teacher, as Ochako basically having that of a more serious face, having that of her arms to her side with her fist out, and Izuku having his phone now in that of its wrist holster, as he looks at Omegasis, within Omegasis giving him a nod, saying, "All right, let's do this. EM wave change on air!" As he begins to shift and transform, as his body begins to shift into that of his rogue form. Long EM wave hair spiked up now, with still having that of his EM claws out. With then soon, as his before then, his default blue color scheme began to change into that of black, showing that he's becoming more and more serious, as his visor goes from that of a ruby red to a light blue. But then soon, time is about to begin for their first battle trial class for the hero course. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Love to read them. So, What did you guys think? Instead of All Might being that of the, well, hero course, being that of Class 1A's, well, hero foundation class, instead Sir Nighteye is in charge, but mainly as that of a part-timer and only focusing on that of Class 1A after all. And more as a favor from that of All Might, since he'll mainly be in that of the third years, keeping an eye on Melissa after all. So yeah, and like I said in past parts, the reason on why Sir Nighteye is more okay with Melissa is because of her being the daughter of David Shield, his predecessor and All Might's first sidekick. He would trust that of somebody who was already close with All Might than that of a mere stranger that he basically found on the side of the streets out of nowhere after all. As the series likes to remind us, the whole chance encounter with All Might, with Izuku and All Might, was, again, just rare as hell in a chance encounter. Just basically a 1 in a million chance from a normal person. And it was also one of the main reasons of why he was completely against Izuku as well. Besides the lack of experience in being quirkless, especially a boy that he barely didn't even know anything about whatsoever, having one for all, it's just asking for trouble in Night-Eye's opinion. As for the change of battle, well, trial after all, you really think, when it came to All Might, honestly, it made no goddamn sense on Class 1A and basically fighting against one another. I mean, sure, you could say that it's the reason behind that of, well, them getting a feel of their quirks and what would happen if they used their quirks on a living being after all, than just robots. But even so, that shit is way too damn, well, advanced. And also, I don't want to get rid of Bakugo so damn soon after all. I want to make him squirm if he basically feels like he's losing his chance at UA after all. So him basically having another stroke removed during battle trial, it's just too easy. I said this before, end of the series, Bakugo is starting to become a lot more likable character for me. But early half Bakugo made me sick. So making him suffer like this is just an icing on the cake for me. At any rate, if you guys like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification key to date my videos and upload on the channel. Also, please check out my Discord, my gaming channel, my side channel, my other channel, my Patreon, and my Cash App. All linked in the description below. So, with all that said, this is Leon Mookie, signing out. Later guys, and hope you all take care. All yours, Shiro.
Hi everyone, this is White Fox. If you liked Leon's video, click the video on the left to see the most recent one. And if you want to see more of this, click the subscribe button and notification bell and check out his playlists. If you still haven't subscribed, do so in the center. With that said, I hope to see you again on my love's channel. Bye!